A smelly smell that smells smelly.
A smelly smell that smells smelly.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving back into r/TalesofNeckbeards, but actually it's from my personal subreddit r/ReddX reads. But again, don't worry none too much about where it came from. This one is like freshly posted. I basically just barged into the subreddit, grabbed the first thing that I saw, and I'm like, yeah, it's long enough. Let's make a video on it. Why not? So, quite lucky is user Octo Rock and Roll. Some days I just get a wild hair and I feel like a one-off video and one presents itself right before me and I'm like, yeah, that'll do. Let's see how it goes. I'm sure it's gonna go just fine. Most of these videos do, right? Except the one yesterday and the day before and the music thing that we've been doing. I hope that you guys have been enjoying Cringemas, the musical videos and such. I was going to include them in like the main video, but I thought it would be nicer to make it separate for the people who don't enjoy my singing as much, because I'm sure there are plenty of them out there. YouTube might not promote the Neckbeard stories as much because the musical videos are flopping, but I hope that the algorithm can maybe tell the difference, and I don't know, I'm kind of stuck to it now, so we'll just continue to see how it goes. Speaking of seeing how it goes, yes, let's jump into this story. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Tales of Neckbeards cringe. Dancing with a neckbeard. Dancing in the dark. I don't know what that song is. That line just popped into my head for some reason. Is it Air Supply? I don't know. Hi everyone. Hi user Octo Rock and Roll. Longtime lurker / listener. First time poster. Yeah, you know the drill by now. Yeah, we do. You're gonna apologize for your English or something next, right? And whenever somebody apologizes for their English, I know that it's going to be a well-written story. Isn't that ironic? Watching ReddX videos has helped me get through a rough 2021, mostly spent in lockdown. And I would likely not have thought to give back to the community had I not been reminded of a particularly uncomfortable neckbeard encounter by my insomnia, keeping me up at night and making my brain remember random awkward moments in my life. Yeah, that's the human condition, I'm pretty sure. Happens to me all the time. But I'm glad that I was able to hang out with you during lockdown and stuff like that. The growth and the timing of the channel has been pretty fortuitous, all things considered. I hope that it doesn't have 100% to do with the pandemic. I hope I have a certain je ne sais quoi that keeps people coming back for more, because once the pandemic is over, if it ever ends, I just don't want people to forget about me, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but you would never, right? Right? Anyways, let's get into that cast list. The character's Octo, that's R-O-P, just barely 19 at the time, and still getting used to the scary, confusing world of adulthood. Yeah, at 19, God, I remember it well. I joined the Navy because I didn't know what the hell else to do. Skinny-bodied, but more than making up for it in thickness of skull. A good quality to have, maybe sometimes, I guess, if you ever run into a Pachycephalosaurus. We got the bony crown. That's one that I learned from my 4-year-old. Maybe Beard, question Beard, he's my best friend at the time, fit the textbook definition of a neckbeard in many ways, but was the exact opposite in others. Outgoing, well-groomed, and in far better shape than I will ever be, but also short, very awkward, had no filter, and was prone to some unsavory beard tendencies from time to time. I'm not sure whether he can fully be called a beard or not, and I do have some other beardish stories about my time spent with him, but that'll be for another time, if ever. Oh, I'm looking forward to some more beard stories. I will not hesitate to pass judgment because it is the beard on the inside that counts. Like, being short and awkward and having no filter isn't necessarily beard stuff, but I would need a lot more information on those unsavory beard tendencies to really pass my judgment. But we're not focusing on him today. We've also got Chilly Girl. Chilly, Chilly, instead of Chili, which is delicious. What a non sequitur. Okay. Yeah, she was a girl from up north that was me and maybe Beard's age. We met at our city's anime convention, and we both immediately took a very obvious liking to each other. Our other friends had gone off to do, other stuff, and she had come alone, so we bonded over our shared love of the same series and movies, and we ended up in a small group near the end of the day, where she got chilly and ended up wearing my jacket. What is that? That's not quite first base. That's like half base, though. Not quite a home run, but I think you scored a hit, buddy boy. Ravebeard, the one and only neckbeard of this story. Short, so scrawny he made even my bony self look fat, and he was preceded by a pungent odor so bad that you could smell when he was coming, even on a packed dance floor, crammed with otaku raving in their cosplays. He wore glasses and seemed permanently hunched over. We would later find out that he had a habit of approaching women at local conventions in, less than appealing ways, and had trouble taking no for an answer. He also proudly sported a neckbeard that reached down below his Adam's apple. Now, are we talking about just like a rave party, or like, were you actually on Molly or something like that? Because then I could see it, like, no matter how bad somebody smells, they got a shirt that feels cool and you're just like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. Don't do drugs. That's what I'm saying.
Do you take drugs or alcohol? What is drugs?
Anyways, this story takes place during the anime convention where Maybe Beard and I met Chilly Girl. It's one of those all-weekend conventions that just never stops. Oh god, too much social interaction. I want to go home. One day. That's all I can handle. From the time it opens on Friday to when it closes on Sunday, it has stuff for attendees to do both day and night. Its most famous nocturnal attraction was its annual rave. Oh yeah, we gonna get real goofy in there. Yeah, that's the time when I really come out of my shell, honestly. Right about the time I start coming out of my head, then the shell peels away. The three of us lined up a good half hour early to get in, and with a room packed full of fellow dressed up geeks, we all started jamming towards what I'm pretty sure were just dance remixes of anime songs. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. There was me, slam dancing in a wig and a suit, meant to resemble Sanji from One Piece, Chilly Girl with her cat ears and her tail, dancing like she was the only one of our trio who actually knew how people danced at raves. Probably because, you know, she was. And finally there was Maybe Beard, dressed as Joe from Megalobox, who was keeping in character by repeating a series of boxing moves in time with the rhythm. Yeah, I learned this from We Fit Boxing or something like that. Again, whatever floats your boat. Are boxing and slam dancing really that different? All I would be doing is fucking skanking around the dance floor, so no big deal, I guess. Everything was going well, but I knew that I would be competing with Maybe Beard for Chilly Girl's affection, so when I saw that a little bit of space was clearing up near the front of the dance floor, right in front of the DJ, I made a motion for all of us to move up so I could better impress her with my dance moves, which in hindsight probably didn't do much except maybe remind her of Crispin Glover in Friday Night the 13th, the final chapter. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't get the reference, but I know Crispin Glover's a creepy man, so we'll just roll with that. Maybe my editor could find the scene and save me here. Chili Girl surprisingly didn't seem to mind the assault of pure cringe that no doubt came from my attempts at dancing, and she seemed to be legitimately enjoying herself. Raverbeard, meanwhile, was still ducking and weaving away while being mindful that his punches only ever hit the air, so for the next few minutes, it seemed as though everything was going well. So yeah, based on these descriptions, I'm gonna assume that this isn't like a rave, the rave that I think of when we speak of raves. It's just a dance party. Nobody's on goofballs or anything. Everything's cool. But then I started getting distracted by an unpleasant smell. Oh no, he approaches. Keep in mind, we were on a fairly crowded dance floor filled with furries and armored knights and other people in all variety of cosplay, so the place wasn't exactly smelling like roses to begin with. So, when I tell you that this smell smelled bad, I want you to know that it was on a level far beyond even that. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
A smelly smell that smells smelly.
Y'all remember that SpongeBob clip? Yeah, of course you do. That's a classic. I actually worried that the smell might be coming from me. After all, there's only so much dancing that you can do in a suit and a wig before you start to sweat, and that knowledge alone was enough for my insecurities to take over, and I started subtly inching away from Chili Girl. Oh no, don't give up the goose quite yet, buddy. Get back in there, do the thing. You got it. As I inched away, I saw and smelled someone else inching closer. I had never seen Ravebeard before, and neither had Chili Girl, but he made his way straight towards her like she was an old friend, and started dancing about as close to her as you could reasonably get without physically touching her. Yeah, I'm sure the nasal assault is enough. I'm shocked that she didn't run out of the whole dance just screaming. Aren't your eyes watering? Doesn't your nose burn? He soon tried to get her attention and motioned to her to bring her ear close to his mouth and vice versa to talk, but she just kinda kept dancing without any response that I could see. That's a good move, I guess. It's a little more within the social contract than running into the night screaming. But I would recommend running. Ravebeard persisted though, and eventually Chili Girl looked back at me and then leaned in to hear what Ravebeard had to say. Many of you are probably understandably aghast that I would not only just stand there and let it happen, but to a girl that I liked no less. And that's because you guys are all definitely much smarter than me, who was still relatively fresh out of high school, and during my time there, I had gone in and out of my own neckbeardy phase, during which I had a problem with respecting people's boundaries. By this point, I had realized why that was wrong, but I hadn't really matured enough to know what was right yet. So my solution was to overcorrect and avoid any behavior that could possibly be even partially mistaken as possessiveness. So in my mind, telling some random other guy that he can't talk to a girl that I had met just a few hours ago felt like it would be a big regression in that sense. I guess I do see where you're coming from, but I will say that this woman probably would have been really grateful to you if you had stepped in and been like, hey, she's here with me, may I cut in, something like that. I think it also has a lot to do with self-confidence, you know? OP gained some awareness, so he lost the confidence that comes with ignorance. Ravebeard, on the other hand, way overly confident because he's entirely ignorant of social boundaries and, you know, how bad he smells. He's living in his own little world, and as they say, ignorance is bliss. I will say at 19, I probably would have stepped in because I thought I was a big tough Navy guy, but 16 or 17, I can't say for sure that I would have. Definitely at 30, I mean, my wife is the only one that I feel possessive of, and she feels possessive of me too. We've been together for years. That's completely natural. But after just a few hours, it's a tough call to make, man. How into each other are you at that point, I guess is the question that I would direct back at you. Well, lucky for everyone there, Maybebeard was more aware than I was, and was unafraid of direct confrontation, starting with me. It doesn't seem like the other beard talks, and we might get another story about Maybebeard, so, yeah, good old Neckbeard voice, here we go. Maybebeard,
Why aren't you stopping that Neckbeard from creeping on Chili Girl? He doesn't look like he's gonna go away anytime soon.
OP, I don't know. We shouldn't just assume that he's being creepy. Plus, Chili Girl is talking to him, so she probably doesn't want us butting in. She definitely does. The dude smells like a dumpster fire. Get your potential woman out of there. Let her reprimand you later, if that's really how she feels. But I think the first order of business is the old swoop and scoop. We found out by the end of the night that Ravebeard was asking for Chili Girl's phone number, to which she told him she didn't have her phone on her, even though it was sticking out of her back pocket. He then asked if she was on Snapchat, and then Kik, and then WhatsApp, and then Instagram and Facebook, and then probably a whole lot of other stuff that I don't friggin' remember. She said no to all of this, even though I'm pretty sure she was indeed on all of the above. So I think I can safely say that I was as wrong as I could possibly be. Maybe as wrong as I have ever been. Well, y'all young, you know, live and learn, I do suppose. It's still a mystery to me why she continued dancing and, like, having a conversation with him instead of, you know, Watusiing over to another corner or whatever. But, yeah, I guess she's scared of confrontation too. Maybebeard steps up, though, and says,
She's clearly uncomfortable, and that guy clearly does not give a damn. We need to get rid of him now.
Kind of like Maybebeard. He's a cool dude, from what I know so far. I look back, and sure enough, Chili Girl was making visible efforts to move away from Ravebeard, who only kept on moving in closer to her in response. Oh, so she is Tootsie sliding over, and he's just like, I'm gonna follow you. That's not the proper defense. You need the boys to come in and tell them to piss off. This is another reason why I hesitate to call Maybebeard fully a neckbeard. In moments like this, he was exactly the blunt voice that I needed to convince me of what was painfully obvious to everyone except myself. I don't remember exactly what happened afterwards quite as clearly, but I do know that Maybebeard and I physically cut Ravebeard off from Chili Girl. I remember at first, Ravebeard tried to puff his chest out and look tough, but he quickly realized that Maybebeard was buff enough to snap into him like Macho Man Randy Savage into a Slim Jim.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
And I was so much taller than him that I could probably eat him like one, at which point he just looked deflated. Yeah, go creep on somebody else. He might have been a nice guy, but he doesn't seem like it. Like, unwanted advances toward this girl, not reading the social situation, walking around smelling like a bag of trash. It's red flags all around. I'm glad that he got the boot. Take him outside. Put the boots to him. Medium style.
Put the boots to him. Medium style.
Ravebeard tried to advance back towards Chili Girl, but the two of us stayed in his way, and we pushed him back until he was nearing the entrance, at which point he just left. We probably should have just tattled to a staff member, since they're pretty good at dealing with creepy guys like that, but my ego was very bruised, and I felt like I needed that catharsis. Yeah, staff's not really necessary. You guys handled it. It's all good. The place's smell began to improve immensely, mere moments after Ravebeard's exit. And improving immensely probably still doesn't mean that it smells good, but just better than it did. I mean, sure, it was still a sweaty, greasy enclave of moshing otaku at the end of a convention day, but by comparison, it smelled like we had just walked into the world's biggest flower store. Yeah, enjoy that. Nose blindness. Chili Girl made no secret of how relieved she was that Ravebeard was gone. We went back to dancing and overall had a fun night. But whatever shreds of doubt I still had about what Maybe Beard told me completely evaporated as soon as she told us about how much of a creep he was later on. I never saw Ravebeard again, but I would hear similar stories from other female friends of mine who attended our city's conventions. Oh yes, Ravebeard is everywhere. Ladies, beware, watch your drinks. Gentlemen too, for that matter. Don't let your drink out of your sight. We learned this in the Bootbeard saga. I don't know what that fella's capable of, and I do not want to find out. Anyways, I took the whole thing as a learning experience though, and now whenever women I know want to hang out at conventions, I'm always running Beard Watch in the back of my head. I did end up with Chili Girl's number, and I took her on a dinner date sometime later, but that was about all that came of it. The moral of the story, friends, is that you should never be afraid to step in if you think somebody needs help, especially not when beards are involved. I hope you guys enjoyed the story and that you all have a happy holiday season. Ah, good. Another light beard story with a happy ending, you know? Like I said earlier, it's fine to step in. Let that girl reprimand you later if need be. It's not about possessiveness, it's about keeping somebody safe who is clearly uncomfortable. Watch the body language. Listen to their voice. Not just what they say, but like how they say it. Because you can determine absolutely everything from how somebody says something. It does take some practice. You're going to have to roll above a 15 on your perception check, but given enough sentences, you will catch on and you'll be like, oh shit, that girl needs help. Swoop! And it ain't about swooping for a reward either, fellas. Let me remind you of that. Just be a bro, get those chicks out of bad situations if you can. And then if she says, I don't need help, this is my brother, boyfriend, whatever you got. Oh, my mistake. Sorry about that. Sure, it bruises your ego a little bit, but you know what? You might have saved somebody from harm just by doing something that simple. So do keep it in mind. A very good story, a lovely moral at the end. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around if you should like. I would definitely appreciate that. We've also got all kinds of links and plugs and playlists and podcasts in the description. Oh yeah. And mine and my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. I hope you check that out as well. r/praying mantis, counter creeping. That's exactly what we got in the story today. Interesting how that works, isn't it? We've also got my social medias down there. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Yes, indeed. Check it out. And Patreon. Yeah, can't forget that. My gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I'd like to thank them Jerry much, as I always do. So thank you.
Robert Waits, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Conrad Ingy, Captain Cloud Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Cinema Susie, Danny, Jerry, Nerdnick, For Old Lang Syne, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Ayuri, the most different Jerry spelling, Jari, the pirate. God, gets me every time. Livingston loves Jerry, so does ReddX, Rogue, Silent Revolver, Magdalene Marshall Thornrose, the OG, Jerry, Becca, Jerish Kitsune, Satori, 211 Jerry, the return of Jerry, a Jerry, a juggling Jerry's, a crusty Carconian Cade. I love that too. There's so much alliteration. Alunia, Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, but Jerry, it's cold outside, Camille Sarah, Commander Jerry Tank, Deltarune Jerry, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Over Studios, Gypsy, Adrian BR, Heathcliff, Itchy Nuts, just scratching bro, Pimp named J Crisp, yes you have to say the whole thing, JM Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Big Nuts, aka Mr. J, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Lady Dix, Jerry the Small Jerry to the other Jerrys, ooh, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk, John Hero, John Jerry Jingleheimer Schmidt. Welcome to the fold, my friend. That name is my name too. Jolly Black Jerry, Sid Boofacus if your boofing is free, K Jerry W Kajow, Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Lino, Jackass Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Jerry Steve, Congrats on the marriage, Panda Prince Jerry, Phantom of the Pines, Jerry Kinson, Jerry Beth, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Safe Spaces Hate Satire, Sarita the Lolita, Surrey the Dash, Staples aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, Tenton Monster, the one too fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts, Church, Treeberg, Vigilante Justice. Viking Jerry! We're getting worried. Marble Jerry's been missing for a month, and the roller rink's never heard of him. What does the beard say? Will Mags, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwin, Goose says honk, not the Viper, Psy Jerry the Cyborg, a normal Jerry. I've just been informed that ReddX cringe sandwiches have 0 calories, and in that case, I'm having seconds. Okay, but don't binge the cringe too much. It might have some unintended effects like inside your brain pots, but I don't know. We're still doing the science on all that. Hunter of Jerry, devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom, Admiral Tom Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, breaker of the Tom Army, AZ, Banished Knight, Babushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine Horseradish, the original different Jerry, that's Cake Jerry, yeah! California Jerry Girl, Canadian Lynx, Carrot Jerry, God of Veggies, good for your eyes, Cha-cha-cha-chia, Jerry, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Buddy Dog, Tigerian Princess Furry Worry Woo Jerry, Cryptiddies, Cupid Jerry, Defon Jerry, Electrical Fennec, Ghost of Alpha, He Not, HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry, how's your short game, Jerry? Hydra Jerry, Jerry and Tom versus Santa Werebeard Apocalypse, Jerry in a Subaru STI. So specific. Jerry Pinks. Jerry Aldo Rivera. Check out the mustache. Jerry Bean. Yum. Jerry Roxas. Yay. Jerry Tidings, dear friends. Jerry role-playing game, aka Bloody Butterfly Gaming. Judge Jerry and Executioner. King Tom, Smasher of Jerry Zillas. Kitty Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft. Maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, not Invisible Angel. I see you. One-leg Jerry sings Jingle Bells. Hop up and down, jingle your bells. Okay, Cam, Ghosty, Raptor Art. She's my Jerry Pie. Go drink a Mountain Dew, what a big surprise. I just love that. Silurian King, Snary, the Snom Jerry. Spoonie the Rogue, Steambuck Ellie, Terry. AKA the crippling duality of being both a Tom and a Jerry. Can he do that? I don't know if he can do that. Necro Jerry Con. The original Jerry, not the most different Jerry. Maybe to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. Zestaboo Jerry. Tom Promise Jerry swears. Oh, no bad Jerry. Tom be a good boy. No swears. Just facts. Suicides. Go look it up. And by it, I mean another ReddX video. Goddamn.
As always, you guys absolutely killing it on the Patreon. I do appreciate it so very much. I hope that some other people will consider joining up, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you'll need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Yeah, that'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, friends, bye-bye.